So those are two very different challenges. Boots on the ground, an infantry style occupation of physical territory versus over the horizon strikes. And at a time when monetary resources are scarce and the wish list is long, the need to prioritize is very sharply felt. It's always been a big challenge amongst the armed forces themselves, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, within the Army, the different arms and their competing requirements. To some extent, an effort has been made to streamline the prioritization process. How satisfied are you with that? Do you think greater speed and effort needs to be given to try and ensure that we're able to pick the right weapon systems, rising above intra-army or intra-services challenges or priorities to do what is best for India's national defense?
Yes, it is true that we have to prioritize as we go along. The wish list is long, but we continue to carry out a process of analyzing our threat, the threat perceptions, how soon or late they could manifest. And based on that, we keep prioritizing and reprioritizing our requirements. With the standoff in eastern Ladakh as it occurred last year, we realized that we need to do more as far as ISR is required, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. So that has been the thrust of our modernization over the last 1 year. Similarly, other weapons and equipment that we thought we might need to prosecute wars in the future, those have got our attention. And that is the way we are looking at modernizing the armed forces and the Indian Army in particular to meet these future challenges.
You spoke of two unsettled borders, General Naravne. Let's start with what's happening across the Greater Himalayas. As Chief of Army Staff, what's your current reading of the state of play along the line of actual control? We've seen some pullbacks, very limited in sectors like Pangong, so in sectors like Hot Spring, but in Depsang, Demchok, the build-up continues. Also, just behind the LAC, a massive build-up has been undertaken by the PLA. Why do you think the Chinese army is amassing in the way that it is across the LAC from Ladakh all the way to Arunachal Pradesh? And our deployment is almost turning the LAC into a line of control like we have with India and Pakistan. Is that the way you believe things are likely to be from here, sir?
I think in one of the recent MEA updates, the MEA spokesperson had very clearly mentioned that whatever has happened along northern borders is because of the massive build-up by the Chinese and the non-adherence to various protocols which had been laid down in the past, which was the reason for the standoff and what all happened subsequently. So that is very clear as to what was the trigger for all that which happened. Yes, it is a matter of concern that the large-scale build-up which had occurred continues to be in place, and to sustain that kind of a build-up, there has been equal amount of infrastructure development on the Chinese side. So it means that they are there to stay. We are keeping a close watch on all these developments, but if they're there to stay, we are there to stay too. And the build-up on our side and the developments on our side, I would say, are as good as what the PLA has done. But what this will result in, especially if they continue to stay there through the second winter, will definitely mean that we will be in a kind of LC situation, though not an active LC as is there on the Western Front, but definitely we will have to keep a close eye on all the troop build-up and deployments to see that they don't get into any misadventure once again.